Now, on the Best of SportsCenter 1996, amid the greatest of humanity's accomplishments, amid the greatest of humanity's emotions, the worst of humanity's inhumanity.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
The games will go on.
We'll review the Olympics, from the tragedy to the glory to the cultural absurdity of it all.
I knew I had to go for it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about that. I can't really get this thing done.
Said a little prayer.
Larry, I'll be right back. If you can just hold carry for just 1 second.
And let the adrenaline take over.
It was a year of overwhelming domination in one sport.
The Chicago Bulls have regained the NBA throne.
A year of unexpected rejuvenation in another, with personal rejuvenation thrown in for good measure. A year in which a new team won an old trophy and an old team put it all back together, only to see it all fall apart.
I will not be in training camp. I'm going to go home.
It was a year in which many of our favorites went home, some far too soon.
When it was time to get it on, I got it on, and I gave it everything I had.
It was also a year in which some went home forever, always to be missed, always to be remembered, always to be loved.
Overtime. Seven comes in front. They score! They score! Wayne Gretzky wins it for Los Angeles!
And yet it was still a year of glorious debuts and the only appropriate words to accompany them.
I guess hello world, huh?
Some did what they always seemed to do. Some said what they always seemed to say.
Every part of his body is like Manishkov or whatever his name is, the guy who can do the ballet.
And some said and did things only they could understand. It was a year of the athletically transcendent and the athletically impossible and the aesthetically unspeakable. Our heroes were put at risk. Our heroes crossed some lines, and we crossed some lines on them.
Going back is Carrasco to the warning track. To the wall, he's under it now. And it's taken away from him by a fan, and they're going to call it a home run. I can't believe it.
It was a year in which stars of the past did again that which we thought they could not do.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's 20.
A year of women approaching equality in all facets of sport, even the bad ones. A year in which new leagues gained a foothold and old ones nearly slipped over the precipice.
This is a landmark day for baseball.
A year to ask for whom the bell toiled, he toiled for thee. A year of the sublime, a year of the ridiculous, a year of the stupendous, a year of the stupid, a year in which we enjoyed the greats, shuddered at the violence, laughed at the aftermath.
I can't believe I shook this guy's friggin' hand after the game.
The year 1996, the perfect view of 365 remarkable days in 90 remarkable minutes. The Best of SportsCenter is next. Hello and welcome from World Headquarters. It's the really big show, the Best of SportsCenter, and alongside my tag team partner, Dan Patrick, I'm Keith Olbermann.
The network gave us 90 minutes to put 1 year into perspective. The highs and lows, the twists and turns, the fond and tearful farewells.
But overriding all the other stories was a reminder that sports is just another part of the all-too-real world. We had watched or heard about or been told of the tragedy of Munich 1972. We had been warned for the 1991 Super Bowl in the midst of the war in the Gulf. We had seen the fabric of sports stretched and cut and refashioned in ways unimaginable to us. But it had always been at a distance. There was still a sanctuary of innocence, however small, in sports in America, until 12:40 on the morning of Saturday, July 27, 1996, when that sanctuary vanished as the audio and videotape rolled.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Terrence Cawthon, he's the guy that Joe Frazier has worked with in Philadelphia, barely advanced rock like his Mongolian opponent in the second round. Cawthon hung on for a 10-9 win. We should be ready to go. People are running. I'll get out of the lights, but let me tell you what's going on. Security is ushering people out of the park. Can you see it? Some people are running. We're looking live downtown Atlanta as the fire rescue and police authorities are on the scene. This is outside the AT&T Global Village. and we are not sure at this point what exactly is going on. We do know that 4 or 5 fire trucks have been called to the scene, at least 7 or 8 police cars to the scene. Again, this is downtown Atlanta. We were sending a segment from the Olympics to SportsCenter moments ago at 1:20 Eastern Time.
An explosion has rocked the site of the Olympics in Atlanta. It happened just after 1 a.m. this morning, and it happened at the center stage area at Centennial Park in Atlanta. 150 to 200 people are reported injured. Our Chris Myers, who heard the explosion, is live in Atlanta with the latest.
Authorities asked us to leave the Chamber of Commerce building. They have cleared the area. They are clearing all areas, taking no chances. They have stopped a number of people and questioned and frisked them as if they were looking for something. People are confused and concerned.
Right as this concert had ended, or nearing the end, there was a tremendous bang. It felt like someone had punched me in the back.
The police were coming towards you. You knew there was going to be a stampede. They were cattling everybody. It blew a hole in the Swatch building in the Olympic Park.
All of a sudden, it was just a gigantic explosion. We were rocked. My camera and chair were vibrating like that. And I turned to my left, and I saw everybody screaming and crying. It wasn't like a fire explosion. It was just more of an audio type of boom.
There's a great deal of confusion outside. However, inside, the 2 doctors who spoke with us most recently said that things were very calm because they had gone through pre-Olympic disaster planning, and that there were as many as 50 extra staffers already in the hospital when the first victims arrived there.
We have a report that ACOG is confirming that there are at least 2 fatalities, between 150 and 200 injuries reported, but 2 fatalities have been confirmed by medical authorities here in downtown Atlanta. What was an area filled with excitement and energy because of the summer games here in Atlanta hours ago now feels somewhat like a war zone.
The FBI right now is confirming that it was a bomb that ripped through Centennial Park. No more reports. A confirmed bomb that has ripped through Centennial Park.
First of all, the games will go on. I repeat, the games will go on.
The games will go on, but will the human spirit? 10 a.m. handball at the World Congress Center, not too far from here. 10 a.m. there's basketball at the Georgia Dome. You wonder how many people will want to attend this and if the athletes will have their heart in it. Chris Myers reporting live from downtown Atlanta.
In an event that served for many as a microcosm of American society, within days, the freelance security guard who first warned others of the suspicious package that proved to be the bomb was reported to be a suspect in the FBI's investigation of who put it there. But despite overwhelming publicity, Richard Jewell was not the Olympic bomber. He sued several news organizations over their treatment of him, settled out of court with NBC in December. As the year ended, no one else had been arrested or accused, though the FBI set up a hotline the first week of December and through it received a photograph taken in Centennial Park shortly before the bombing, showing a man wearing a backpack.
But the radiant glow of Olympic gold could still be seen through the haze cast by the Centennial Park bombing. U.S. athletes once again returned to their elevated perch as the most decorated country in the Summer Games. Americans have been #1 in the gold medal count in 13 of 23 Summer Olympics. And while the names may change every 4 years, the smiles and joy ring familiar.
I asked her, Kerry, we need another award. Can you do it? Yes, I do it. I will.
I knew I had to go for it and just said a little prayer and let the adrenaline take over.
I'm just going to get really nasty and really mean within myself, you know, and stop the whole laughing thing and just get down to business.
19.3, I'll take it.
You're saying you can go faster?
I think so. I mean, if I get a perfect race, that wasn't a perfect race, and if everything goes well, you never know what might happen. So, I think so.
It's a title that comes along, with the gold medal, and so I'll gladly carry that burden for a while.
I have limits, but the thing about it is I've always tried to challenge those limits.
How come you get 2 points every time you score?
That's a tough question. I thought I heard them all.
He won the long jump. That's not 100 meters. He got butt naked last at the trials.
We have a lot of classy individuals on this team, even Charles, and we just gotta...
I'm definitely not quitting. I'm 15 years old. I can't retire now.
If I had a choice, put Michael Johnson on it. He just ran 1932. Okay? Mike, you ran 1932, Mike, okay? That's a 9.9 on the turn. Had to be. You could do it.
I'm really proud that I represented America, and I saw the flag go up in honor of me.
It was the first time I was really watching the American athletes really go up there and hear the anthem, and they just looked so proud, and I knew that's what I wanted to hear today.
It's truly elation, like I said, for me as a coach, it sits right up there with all the other honors. I feel like that I've been blessed, that this is truly a great experience for me.
4 years ago, I took a small step, and that cost me a medal. And so that landing today assured me that I was going to win a medal, and no one could take it away from me.
Hey, my little boy loved me. I'm going to tell him that no matter what happens in life, we always can't win. It's hard for him. It's hard for my family, but they know I'm a champion regardless.
And then I walk back, and Angel gives me the medal, and that's just wonderful. It was the nicest thing someone could have done.
I wanted it to inspire her to give back, and I just think she's terrific.
To win a World Olympic title, I fulfilled my dreams. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Right now, it just still hasn't really hit in, and still feel some flashes go through, and I don't know. It's absolutely, seriously, it's just a dream come true.
There's a lot of other problems in the world, and losing a volleyball match isn't the end of my life, and I'll be back in 2000 if I have anything to say about it.
I seen, my grandmother and my mother crying, so, it hurt me a little bit. So, I shed a little tears, but, only a real man shows his real emotions, and I feel I'm a real man.
Disappointments tonight aside, it's been a great ride, and I'm a little sad that it's over, but it's been really fun, and couldn't have asked for a better career.
I think I'll remember standing on the podium and hearing the national anthem. I think every athlete feels and dreams of that moment. And to me, that is the moment I won't forget.
Winning the gold medal, standing up there, watching the flag raise, listening to the Star-Spangled Banner. Tears were coming to my eyes.
I just put up my arms. It was sweet.
The 96 games won't go down as one of the more successful ones for U.S. results. This was our 6th best overall performance in history, but the 44 golds were 7 more than the total returned from Barcelona. Still to come on the Best of SportsCenter, golf's present and future come roaring out of the woods. We'll chronicle the Tiger Tales. Also on the show, he helped bring together 2 leagues and millions of football fans. We'll look at the legacy left behind by Pete Rozelle. The Team of the Year played the Game of the Year. We'll retrace the Bulls' playoff win over the Magic. And we'll roll out the images that will stay with us for years to come. This is the Best of SportsCenter.
Some days, it seems like nothing goes right.
Kelly is down.
And everyone's out to get you.
Now Favre running to the right. Favre is on the right.
There are monster hits and narrow escapes. But other times, there's always the glory.
The NFL Quarterback Club Collection, exclusively from Sports Illustrated, featuring the ultimate game ball. This one-time only, authentic, collectible NFL Quarterback Club football. And the special new video from SI and the NFL Quarterback Club, QBs Under Fire. Both free with your paid subscription to SI. Your NFL Quarterback Club collection starts with this collector's dream, an officially licensed, individually numbered NFL Quarterback Club football. It features the official replica autographs of 5 superstar quarterbacks: Troy Aikman, Dan Marino, John Elway, Jim Kelly, and Brett Favre.
You gotta love that.
Call now, and you'll also get the exclusive new video, Quarterbacks Under Fire. Go inside the huddle. Feel the intensity of the most pressure-packed position in sports. Find out how the game feels from the quarterback's point of view. Who they go to.
Touchdown 49ers, Jerry Rice.
And who they fear.
I think he takes great pleasure in hitting people. I'm afraid of him.
Call now. Get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. Plus, get your exclusive NFL Quarterback Club collection absolutely free. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Don't pass up your chance to get the NFL Quarterback Club collection for yourself or a friend. The ultimate game ball, the exclusive, collectible NFL Quarterback Club football, and the great new video, QBs Under Fire. There are only 2 ways to get the NFL Quarterback Club collection.
You can take over an NFL team or subscribe to Sports Illustrated. And that's all.
Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Best of SportsCenter is brought to you by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car.
The NBA Game of the Year, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Magic and Bulls. Michael getting his hardware before the game, but Shaq looked like the MVP early. Horace trying to applaud, but can't do it with one hand. Shaq showing a little bit of range. The fadeaway over Bill Wennington. Magic led by 8. Phil is frustrated. Phil is concerned. Shaq not only scoring, but staring at Luke Longley. Got a technical. He had 26 in the first half. Magic led 53-38 at halftime. Third quarter, here comes Chicago. Mike with the D. Finds Scotty. Bulls still trail by 14. Mike finishes it up. Then it's Jordan. Michael, the pull-up for 3 that touches absolutely, positively nothing but the bottom of the net. And then it's Judd Bushler. You can't stop Judd Bushler. You can only hope to contain him. Bulls down 6. Then it's Pippen. Ron Harper. Bulls, they now lead by 3. They led by 2 when Nick Anderson, the pull-up for 3, and the Magic regain the lead. Post still wanting to applaud. Jordan, no. Dennis Rodman. We're tied at 79. Bulls down, 81-79. Jordan. And we're tied at 81. And then it's Steve Kerr. Kerr, perhaps the biggest shot of the night. The Bulls go up 2. They stayed up for good. And Jack Haley applauding like nobody's business. 93-88, the final in this one. Hardaway goes for 18 before fouling out. Shaq was the man in the first half, but struggled. He had 10 in the second half after 26 in the first half. The series shifts to Orlando for games 3 and 4 beginning on Saturday.
It was 1960. NFL owners knew they had the chance to make their organization truly big league. But suddenly their guiding light, Commissioner Bert Bell, died of a heart attack during a game. In choosing a successor, the owners were deadlocked between acting Commissioner Austin Gunsel and an attorney named Marshall Leahy. Then Giants boss Wellington Mara made a suggestion. The young general manager of the LA Rams might be able to do it. Might. What inspired Mara, no one could ever tell. That he was inspired, everyone could soon tell. Alvin Pete Rozelle created the world of football we know today. He died on December 6th. Charlie Steiner has our retrospective.
What Pete Rozelle understood first and better than any other commissioner was this. This medium is the message.
Pete Rozelle really brought the National Football League and professional football from the barnstorming stage to the premier sport in America.
Pete's greatest mark will probably come from the standpoint that he had a vision for the game. He knew how to meld or wed the game with television.
In 1960, a 33-year-old general manager of the Los Angeles Rams was elected commissioner of the National Football League. He was an afterthought, really, a compromise choice on the 23rd ballot. But just 2 years into his regime, the young commissioner signed a 2-year contract with CBS for about $4.5 million a year to be shared equally by the league's then 14 teams.
We had to get agreement among the clubs to share the money equally from television. Had to get a bill through Congress.
Shared equally, revenue sharing, parity, permitting competing franchises to play on relatively equal playing fields. That, too, was the genius and the legacy of Pete Rozelle.
Pete Rozelle was always a rabid disciple of parity. He felt that it was the only way that the league would be able to grow and that we would be able to maintain strong franchises regardless of where they were located and basically regardless of the size of the market.
On ABC's Monday Night Football is currently the longest-running primetime series on television and almost always among the top 10 rated shows of the week.
When I developed the thought of having a Monday night series, I went to CBS as well as NBC. I remember Bob Wood, the president of CBS, said, "What? Preempt Doris Day on Monday night?"
I'm Howard Cosell, and welcome to ABC's Monday Night Primetime National Football League television series.
35 years after signing that first contract with CBS, now 30 NFL teams receive upwards of $40 million apiece per year from the $4.3 billion four-year contract from 5 television networks. 40-something million dollars per team, just from television. That's before a single ticket, hot dog, or jersey is sold. The Super Bowl is now all but an official American holiday. It also is the one sporting and television event seen by more people in this country than any other. And it started as a modest idea, a byproduct of the Rozelle-produced merger.
It built up this rivalry, and I felt that that would be very important to a, I didn't know that we'd call it a Super Bowl, but into a championship game between the two leagues. It amazes me, and you think that on the top 10 television shows of all time, it's just saturated with Super Bowl games.
Pete Rozelle's NFL was a seamless blend of capitalism, where every team shared the wealth, and socialism, where every team shared the wealth equally.
I think that if Pete Rozelle had not been our commissioner during the 70s and the 80s, that we would probably be facing a situation very akin to baseball.
Pete Rozelle, the consummate public relations man, understood the big picture. His partners, his customers, and ultimately the fans of his sport. He delivered the goods with a competitive product on the field and on TV. Always on TV.
Without those imaginative, insightful, and visionary moves that he made, we wouldn't have the NFL as it is presently situated today.
Pete Rozelle's most controversial decision was the one to play NFL games as scheduled the Sunday after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963. Rozelle's friend, the then head of CBS Sports, Bill McPhail, who also passed away this year, said he and Rozelle went to Yankee Stadium that somber Sunday. A fan approached their seats and asked the commissioner if he was indeed Pete Rozelle. When Rozelle answered yes, the fan promptly punched him in the face. Rozelle did nothing. "I understand how he feels," McPhail quoted Rozelle as saying. "The least I can do is take it." That, said Bill McPhail, summed up who Pete Rozelle was. Still ahead on the Best of SportsCenter, as there were departures, so too were there arrivals. Next, the world of golf turned upside down. A young man named Tiger takes over.
Looking good and feeling good in my clothes. There is no feeling like feeling good in your clothes. There is no feeling like feeling good in your clothes. Feeling good. Feeling good when I'm playing the blues in my clothes. There is no feeling like feeling good in your clothes. There is no feeling like a feeling good in your clothes. There is no feeling like feeling so good in your clothes. Yeah. Oh, man.
You have a romantic evening, me watching hoops, and you keeping quiet. When two Big East schools hold a basketball duel, that's Big Monday. When two Big 12 teams meet, it's a college hoop feast you will love. So just pull up some chairs, thank the big guy upstairs, it's not Sunday. Then sit back and relax in your salsa belts like Big Monday. Oh yeah, baby.
Sorry, Coach Knight, I don't see your name on the list.
We asked you via the ESPN Net Sports Zone which were the 5 best SportsCenter promotional commercials of the year. We're going to count them down. Here's number 5.
We're discouraged from getting involved romantically with the people we cover, which is a pretty good policy, but it happens. Think about Charlie Steiner. It's cliche to say love is beautiful, but what Charlie has is beautiful.
Tiger Woods was an amateur trapped inside a professional's body for more than a decade. 4 months ago, the pro finally shed his cocoon and displayed one of the most brilliant sports debuts in history. His attraction, though, is far more than his tape measure drives, his youthful exuberance, or ethnic diversity. He is most proud of a will to win that burns like a bonfire. Jimmy Roberts chronicles the first of many years of the Tiger.
He has proven himself to a lot of players who might have had doubts.
You know, he must have some kind of super genetic structure.
It'll be tough to live with him, but he's, you know, phenomenal.
You can just tell.
Amazing.
Hello world, huh?
When Tiger Woods announced his amateur days were over, the golf world knew that the impact would be immediate. But did it know to what extent? With victories in his 5th and 7th tournaments, Woods became the first golfer since Curtis Strange in 1982 with 5 straight top 5 finishes.
That's a career for some guys. Some guys in a career don't ever do that.
7 tournaments and a 2-year exemption later, Tiger's on-the-course impact speaks for itself.
Of course, now nobody's going to know what tour's like without him because he's going to be here. And, you know, he's going to be out there a long time.
The players out here have worked hard and have earned, you know, their position where they're at. The guys who are at the top of the game have earned their way there. And when you have somebody new come along who kind of threatens your position, you know, being that he is so talented, it makes you work harder. And I really believe that, you know, guys aren't going to want to lay down and get beat away by a 20-year-old guy who is going to be a world beater, but, you know, guys want to protect their territory.
The comparisons with Nicklaus are unavoidable, but a closer look with Nicklaus shows Tiger's fast and furious impact. While it took Woods 5 tournaments before his first pro victory, Nicklaus won in his 18th, the 1962 U.S. Open. And the average finished in their first 5 tournaments, Woods 16th, Nicklaus 34th.
I've never seen somebody come up with that much hoopla. He's very good for the game of golf. He's very good for my business. My business is golf.
And Tiger Woods has clearly impacted the business of golf as well. Last year, the Quad City Classic drew 46,000 in attendance. This year, with Woods, over 100,000.
It was a frenzy, really, at the tournament. We had people coming from everywhere. We had people that never played golf before. We had people calling in for tickets who had never been to a golf tournament before. We had kids coming. We had old people coming. It really did cover the whole boundaries.
The long-term impacts, when you see the kinds of kids that are coming out and the enthusiasm that they have, the long-term impacts in terms of the growth of the sport are substantial.
At Las Vegas, the site of Woods' first pro win, attendance jumped from 40,000 in '95 to 75,000 this year.
Having someone like Tiger come out on tour is something that we have not had in a long time, and for what he can do for the game, he has really done it.
And how has Tiger's aggressive attitude impacted his peers?
As I would explain to my dad, second sucks, and third's even worse. You'll learn.
Still, many on tour admire the way in which he has handled himself in the spotlight.
It's very difficult, and I think it's a credit to him to have played so well with all that attention and that focus.
To come out with that kind of attention, with unprecedented contracts and unprecedented media attention and fan attention, and to earn his card on the PGA Tour that quickly is quite an accomplishment.
But Woods has drawn criticism, particularly after opting out of a dinner thrown in his honor and withdrawing from the Buick Challenge the same week, citing mental exhaustion.
I think it's the way he pulled out. That was the big thing. It's not, everybody knows he's tired. He's got to be tired, regardless of that he's 20 years old or not.
I've hit the wall before, but I didn't hit the wall when I was 20.
But Woods did follow up that week off with his first victory. And it's just the beginning.
Hello world, huh?
7 events, over $700,000 in earnings, from 346th in the world to 23rd. And keep in mind, Tiger took a calculated risk when he joined the tour. He had to finish in the top 125 to gain full status for next season. He did more than that. Still ahead on the Best of SportsCenter, the NFL Game of the Year, a game in which a trip to the Super Bowl was literally up for grabs.
Hi, Julie. We've been expecting you. Todd, to reception, please. You have a guest.
Julie.
Hi, Todd.
Are you excited?
I'm really excited.
What do you say we go look at your car?
I'd love it. Okay. Is that my car?
This is Julie, and this is her first new car.
Hold it. This isn't you, it's an older guy.
Oh, that was before I got rid of my gray hair with Just for Men hair color.
Come on, that's too natural to be hair coloring.
Just for Men. Apply and in 5 minutes rinse. Gray is blended away for a totally natural look.
Think it'll work for me?
In 5 minutes.
Just for Men looks too natural to be hair coloring. And now try Just for Men Color Gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out. Just 5 minutes.
The topical pain reliever arthritis specialists choose for themselves and their families needs no prescription. It's Zostrix. In a national survey, rheumatologists chose Zostrix 11-to-1 over the next leading brand. Rheumatologists choose Zostrix for their own.
Friday, Thrifty Car Rental Bull Week begins with a bang. At 3, Donovan McNabb and his Orange Arsenal try to tame Conference USA champ Houston in the Liberty Bowl. At 9, the Utes of Consequence look to shine in the Copper Bowl. Mike Fouts and Utah take on Barry Alvarez and Wisconsin. Syracuse, Houston in the Liberty Bowl at 3. Wisconsin, Utah in the Copper Bowl at 9. Thrifty Car Rental Bowl Week begins Friday on ESPN.
Still ahead on the Best of SportsCenter 1996, the NHL Game of the Year was the season's final one that seemed like it would never end. We'll look at the reason the Yankees' World Series victory was just one great October moment for Joe Torre, and we'll relive some of the top images of the year past.
Starrett, trusted by the pros for quality performance, introduces another new product, the electronic Digitape. It automatically adds its case length for inside measurements and lets you switch from feet and inches to inches only. It even converts to metric. You can set it to 0 at any blade position, and with the memory button, you can save a blind measurement. Digitape makes the ideal holiday gift.
Who gives you raging arcade gameplay? Who gives you the most authentic sports games? Who gives you a game that lets you fly? And who gives you access to the internet on your TV? Play games, surf the net, only on Sega Saturn.
Reload! Reload!
A little too much curve? Yeah.
The NHL Game of the Year was also the league's final game of the year. Here's Rich Eisen.
Would Lord Stanley be rocky bound, or would it stay on the beach in Florida? Patrick Waugh had a message written on his pad, be a warrior, or as he would say, be a warrior. And he was tested early. Robert Frela shoots. Tom Fitzgerald shoots wide. Puck hits the side of the net. Still in the first, John Van Beesbrook would be tested by Adam Deadmarsh. On the dead break is Deadmarsh, and he's stoned by the Beezer. More goaltending. Beezer breaks his stick, and Rene Corbet shoots and is stoned anyway. Second period. We are still scoreless. Joe Sakic shoots. Beezer save, and Warren Reichel flies right into the Beezer, and the Beezer was down. He fell, but he would get up. Doug McLean staring. More goaltending. Gordon Murphy shoots. The puck is deflected. Stu Barnes shot safe by Waugh. They rush the net, and Waugh's like, bring it. Come on, bring it. things would get ugly. Stu Barnes punches Mike Ricci, and Ricci doesn't even say ow. Scoreless, closing the end of the third. Scramble in front. Waugh with the save. Ray Shepard almost puts it in the net. The fans thought it was in the net, so they started throwing rats anyway. False alarm. I guess that's called crying rat. We're going to overtime. In overtime, Mike Keene's pass deflects to Sandus Ozerlinch, and he's stoned by the Beezer. The Lanch think they won, but had to sit back down. 40 saves through the first overtime for Beezer, who gets another great one on Ozerlinch again. Another Lanch scoring chance. Kaminsky with the great move, and the shot hits the post. 3:20 left in the second overtime. Deadmarsh hits the crossbar, and Scott Young, he's got an open net and can't put it home. The third overtime we go. The Panthers cannot clear, and Uwe Krupp shoots. He scores! And the Lanch win the Stanley Cup. The Lanch win the Stanley Cup. They celebrate. Joe Sakic skates with his newest piece of hardware as the Beezer gets congratulated for a fabulous playoff. That's the Conn Smythe Trophy, and another piece of hardware, not bad, the Stanley Cup, to hold both those things in the same evening. And Patrick Waugh gets a little chance at holding his third Stanley Cup, and he capped his enormous playoffs with a 63-save, triple overtime shutout. In fact, Waugh held Florida scoreless over the last 123 minutes and 11 seconds of the Cup Finals. And with his NHL-leading 18 playoff goals, Joe Sakic did indeed take home the Conn Smythe Trophy.
And then there was Joe Torre, who had gone 32 Major League seasons as player and manager without reaching the World Series. Yet as his magical Yankees wriggled out of jam after jam, there the prize sat nearly in his grasp for the first time. And all he could think of was something far more important. His brother, his mentor in baseball and in life, lay in a hospital bed but miles from Yankee Stadium, needing a heart transplant to save his life. Peter Gammons now at the poignant story of the World Series that took second place to a greater triumph.
This is a story of a New York family. 5 kids named Rocco, Marguerite, Frank, Ray, and little Joey, who grew up in Brooklyn in an era when people in the Flatbush neighborhood said, "I like Ike." Baseball was a religion, and this city was baseball's Rome. It's a story that has flashed forwarded through nearly a half-century of aging, partings, sickness, sorrow, to now, when the baby, Joe, brought the World Series home.
If there was one common thing that we all rallied around was being a baseball fan. When he played for the Denver Bears, and I remember I used to go work out with him. And the funny part was, that's when I started working out with the team. Instead of wearing white sannies under my baseball socks, I wore Argyles, you know, and he had to straighten me out right there. But that's how, you know, close the family has been for that long about baseball.
Would it be the same getting to the World Series if it weren't in New York? Considering all that's happened this summer?
No, I don't think it would be. To do something like this in New York is, I don't think that the feeling could be any better anywhere else.
The Yankees were rolling along in first place in June when, between games of a day-night doubleheader in Cleveland, Joe got an urgent call from his wife, Allie.
She says, "Are you sitting down?" Now, at this time, my brother Frank was in the hospital in Florida. And when she said he was sitting down, I thought it was Frank. And when she said, you know, Rocco died a little while ago.
Joe buried Rocco with that day's lineup cards and the manager's cap in the coffin and coped.
It's easier for me because I have a place to hide. And I go in, I've always been this way in baseball. I've always been able to block everything out and get on the field, get in uniform and do what I have to do. And you hope you can stay in uniform forever because it gives you a chance to hide out from reality.
Doctors at Columbia Presbyterian diagnosed that Frank Torre needs a heart donor and transplant. In the meanwhile, they stabilized him. For the last 10 weeks, he's been able to share his brother's quest for a personal dream. They would talk several times a day, and immediately after every game, Joe would retreat to his office and call his brother.
It's gotten to the point where he's feeling so good now that when I call, he says, "What are you going to do today?" You know, and he's ready for you know, a suggestion. He's, you know, you're going to play strawberry, or, you know, where are you going to hit this guy, and is Boggs going to play? You know, and it's fun. It's fun. And then if there's something we didn't agree on, you know, I'll call him after the game, and he'll say, "Well, you must know your players. You did the right thing." And you know, realize, Peter, when I get a compliment from my brother Frank, I mean, there's nothing better for me because he throws them around like manhole covers, you know.
Does he ever second guess you?
Oh, sure. Which is good, because I know if there's something I second guess myself about, I don't even mention it to him. And if he doesn't mention it, I figure maybe he missed it.
It's really helped me through some tough times because, you know, not feeling that well myself, and it's sort of taken my mind off it because my brother means so much to me, and I know what this means to him.
As the Yankees' road wound on through the regular season and the victory over Texas, there was in the brothers' mind the shared dream of the World Series Joe had never experienced, and how Frank, who played for the Milwaukee Braves when they won and lost to the Yankees in 1957 and 58, had given his 1958 World Series ring to his little brother, a treasure that was stolen in 1972.
Every time he'd run into people, they'd say, "Oh, your World Series ring. Let me see your World Series ring." And he got tired of just saying to people, "That's not mine, that's my brother's." You know, blah, blah, blah. I've never been in one.
You hang out with your brother Frank in 57 and 58. They've had 2 straight World Series. And then no matter who you talk to, you know, there's an experience they're talking about.
Sunday night, that dream was fulfilled, and when Joe Torre reached his office, the moment was, naturally, shared with his family. Allie, 1-year-old daughter Andrea Ray, and his sisters, Ray and Sister Marguerite, all crowded around him in his moment of glory.
This has been 35 years waiting for Joe, so it's his dream, and we're happy to be a part of it and sharing it with him. But most importantly, we want Frank to be well.
We dedicate everything to our brother and our mother, who also loved baseball so much and raised us to love it.
The older I get, the more I realize joy and sorrow are intertwined in life.
Joe called Frank from his office during the celebration. Then, Monday afternoon, drove across Upper Harlem to Columbia Presbyterian to share their moment.
Good.
Nice going.
Thank you. Finally found a couple of dry ones here.
Did you? That's great. You can wear it, can I?
You can. You can. Long time coming.
I'm going to have to grow into that one.
Long time coming. It'll shrink. Don't worry about it. Turn it over to my wife. She'll shrink it for you.
No, my wife does a good enough job. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, all those years. Now we got to figure out what size ring your son wears.
No, you got to keep the first one yourself unless you can get 2 maybe.
Well, I'll get 2. I get 2.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Feeling good?
Yeah, it's been a hectic day.
Doctors told you anything?
No, other than I'm on the top of the list, and
They want to keep you here until you get World Series.
Well,
they
I've
get
paid-
World Series tickets, right?
I've paid off my debt. I mean, they had said to me they weren't going to give me a heart until you got in the World Series. So now they've got them in the World Series.
And Frank Torre would get his heart transplant. He would get it in time to see his brother's team triumph against all odds. He would get it in time to have the chance to see many more World Series still. And perhaps to see one more event in the most joyous year of his kid brother's life. Joe Torre, whose .297 career batting average was 3rd in his own era, behind only Pete Rose and Hank Aaron, is on the Hall of Fame ballot this year for the last time. Will destiny smile on him once again? Dan?
Still to come on the Best of SportsCenter, the spoken word. Some delivered heartfelt sentiments, while others vented pure frustration.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. The second half, we sucked.
Here's the 4th most popular SportsCenter promo.
The reality is, just because you're a former athlete, it doesn't qualify you to be a SportsCenter anchor.
After the Olympic gold medal, the Rhodes Scholarship, 10 years with the New York Knicks, I was a U.S. Senator for 18 years.
How about any writing experience?
Well, I wrote 3 books, one on the bestseller list, and the Tax Reform Act of 1986.
But no TV writing.
Any experience in front of an audience?
Well, I gave a keynote address at the Democratic National Convention.
I meant a large audience.
Oh.
Now that's acting. Whether they make you cry, make you laugh, or make you run to put your hands over your kids' ears, you can't beat what the athletes say. So every year we give you the best or the worst of what they said into the forest of microphones confronting them.
As William Hazlitt once wrote, people do not seem to talk for the sake of expressing their opinions, but maintain an opinion for the sake of talking.
I like Patrick's quote that he would have stopped me. I just want to know where he was in Game 3. Probably getting his jock out of the stands out of the rafters United Center, maybe.
I can't really hear what Jeremy says because
I got my 2 Stanley Cup rings plugged in my ear.
Look at me. You know, this is a hockey game. Look at my face. You know, I can't even talk. My nose. I can't believe I shook this guy's friggin' hand after the game. That pisses me right off. He's one of our best players in the series. I can't believe it.
You said something to him on the free throw line. What'd you say to him?
Well, I told him you couldn't get a pin up his with a jackhammer. He was a little tight on that one.
You don't have to say what you necessarily feel.
Let's bury that son of a bitch, okay? For it, take that mic.
There's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to defer any finding of guilt, place you on probation for 4 years, and assess a fine of $10,000.
I will not be in training camp. I'm going to go home. I'm going to surround myself with my family. I'm going to spend some time with my family in Miami.
I honestly believe that I had a better chance of winning the lottery than contracting this disease. I've never been so wrong in my life. To all my young fans out there, I'd ask that you no longer see me as a role model, but see me as an individual that had the opportunity to be a role model and blew it.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that it's going to be gut-wrenching when that ball is kicked off in September, because this is going to be the first time in 43 years that I haven't been on the sideline in the National Football League.
You begin to think of so many other things that are more important. And I got to thinking about my little granddaughter, how I would like to be around when she goes to school. I like to spend time with my wife and my daughter and my son-in-law. And I felt that maybe it would be best for me to step down as manager.
Unfortunately, today I must face the worst-case scenario. Dr. Zarens and the many fine medical specialists he has consulted have concluded that my right hip injury is permanent disability, which will prevent me from ever returning to professional hockey.
I think that anybody who knows me, including my teammates, know that every time I put the uniform on, that I laugh and joke with the opposition, but when it was time to get it on, I got it on, and I gave it everything I had.
I can leave here and say, I look up at the lady on the dome and get down to the grotto and look up at God and say, I think I left it clean. I think I left it clean.
I guess, hello world, huh?
I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
I screwed up. Yeah, I know I screwed up today, but it's not the end of the world for me. It really is not. God, I'd love to be putting this thing on here, this green jacket. Of course I would be, but it's not the end of the world. My life is going to continue. I got $40 million, Berman just already mentioned it.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked.
My button and my button. Suspend me. Rod Thorne, David Stern, suspend me, okay? You guys are so big, suspend me.
It was a horse performance in the second half. Horse. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed.
Some of us need to go see the wizard because we don't have a lot of heart.
He was good at the beginning, but then he went nuts. He went berserk, I guess, and I think even his own generals tried to kill him, didn't they?
We got our ass kicked in that second half. It sucked. It stunk.
Every part of his body is like Barishnikov or whatever his name is. The guy who can do the ballet and do this, Barishnikov.
Because they just blocked better, were tougher, more physical, coached better, did everything better. We sucked.
Coming up, we all know what happened on this play. It wasn't fan interference, it was a home run. But what if? We'll travel inside the looking glass when the Best of SportsCenter continues.
Take the challenge of the Midwest's best in skiing and snowboarding, Devil's Head. Devil's Head offers more, like the best in dining and outstanding accommodations featuring luxurious 2-room penthouse whirlpool suites. Find out why we've been voted the #1 skiing and snowboarding resort in the Midwest. Devil's Head, just a short 3-hour drive north of Chicago. Call today.
The real deals are just minutes away. There's more at Woodfield Ford.
There's a neighborhood dealer right around the corner, but I got the real deal I was looking for at Woodfield Ford. That's the best bet I've made all year.
I shopped a couple of dealers, but nobody came close to the real deal I got at Woodfield Ford. Passed 2 dealerships on the way to Woodfield Ford. The extra 20 minutes saved me $800.
Wherever you are in Chicagoland, real deals are only minutes away at Woodfield Ford.
The third most popular SportsCenter promo.
You know, we make trades all the time, and we made a really big one with Melrose Place. It was a blockbuster. We got Shu, they got Steiner.
Andrew? Thanks, Gary. I spoke with NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue this evening. He would not confirm nor deny reports that the Chicago Bears
worked out great for us. For them, you're going to have to ask them about that.
Hi, Cindy. Bobby, I'm the new pool boy. Want to rub some cocoa oil on my back?
Maybe we got the better end of the deal.
Well, 12-year-old Jeff Mayer also got everything he could have dreamt of, up to and including his own baseball card. All because he brought his glove to a Yankee playoff game. All because he turned a warning track fly ball into a decisive Derek Jeter home run. But what if the fates had not smiled on him that night? We offer you now an alternative reality as a reminder that while dreams can come true, so too can nightmares.
Fly ball right field. This could tie it up. Tarasco at the wall, and a fan reaches out and takes it away from him. He's out. It's fan interference. He's out. What a gutsy call.
The Yankees, thwarted by the umpire's ruling, go quietly in the 8th and 9th, and the Orioles celebrate a 4-3 victory. The fan who may have cost the Yankees the tying run is identified as 12-year-old Jeffrey Mayer of Old Tappan, New Jersey. Angry Yankee fans surround the boy and the NBC camera crew which tries to interview him. Only a police escort gets any of them out of the stadium safely.
It's a judgment call. I mean, sometimes you're going to call it right, sometimes you're going to call it wrong.
Yeah, I think that kind of took a little bit out of us.
The following day, the New York newspapers attack. Kid with iron glove costs Yanks playoff game, says Newsday. Worst Mayor since Ed Koch, reads the Post. George plans to close right field, screams the headline in the News. Yankees lose game, reports the Times. As camera crews camp out on the lawn of the Mayer family home, Jeffrey's Little League coach calls Jeffrey a turncoat and says he wasn't surprised Jeff didn't make the catch. The Orioles' Roberto Alomar, saying he and he alone understands how the kid feels, drops by for a visit. On Friday, acting headmaster Bud Selig of Jeffrey's Junior High School suspends kid because he got out of school early to go to the game on false pretenses of orthodontist's appointment. Baseball Players Association Chief Don Fear announces appeal of the suspension. Later in the day, the verdict: Mayer will not serve his suspension until next spring. Saturday, the New York Post with a huge bombshell. Was it really the kid or this other guy? Johnny Cochran volunteers in Mayer's lawsuit against Major League Baseball for defamation, reusing phrase, if the glove doesn't fit.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Orioles, meanwhile, go on to sweep Yankees, then win World Series, and they vote Jeff Mayer a 1/3 series share. Jeffrey's parents, fed up, offer to sell him to the founder of the Psychic Hotline Network.
When the Best of SportsCenter continues, they won 72 regular season games. They won the NBA title. But are they the #1 team of all time? We'll examine that in a moment.
Levi's wide leg jeans. It's wide open.
Excuse me, think your disposable razor shaves as comfortably as his Gillette Sensor XL? Yeah. Well, try Sensor XL. It'll change your mind. After one shave with Sensor XL, we bet you don't go back. Because only Sensor XL has protective microfins for extra comfort. Wow. And self-adjusting blades for extra closeness. Disposables don't. And Sensor XL gives more shapes per blade than any disposable.
Excuse me?
Take the Sensor XL challenge. Bet you don't go back to disposables.
Hey, I want my Sensor XL back. Hey, hey!
Who were the year's best athletes? What was the play of the year? Most outrageous play of the year? You tell us. Beginning December 29th, tune into SportsCenter and we'll show you the best sports moments of 1996. We'll give you a number to call to cast your vote for the athlete or performance you feel deserves a special Fans Choice ESPY. Watch SportsCenter or vote on ESPN Net Sports Zone for the 1997 ESPY Awards. Only on ESPN.
The 1996 NFL Game of the Year. For the AFC title, the Steelers and some very unlucky Colts. The AFC spot for the Super Bowl. Bring the family to the office day. Kevin and Tara Green. Well, I hope that's his wife. Second quarter, Steelers down 3, 17th play of a drive. 3rd and goal. O'Donnell, he's running. Stewart, he's running. It's a touchdown. 10-6 Steelers, but watch the replay. When Cordell Stewart said he saw this replay for the first time, where he saw himself go out of bounds and then come back in, he went, ooh-wee. No ref saw it. He should not have been an eligible receiver. He did say, though, that the defender, Jason Belser, had shoved him out of bounds. They gave him the touchdown. 4th quarter, Colts are down by 4. Here's Captain Comeback, or at least Courageous Cat. Jim Harbaugh to Floyd Turner, who's Minute Mouse on the play. 16-13 Colts. Late in the 4th quarter, Colts ball. They are still leading 16-13. It's 3rd and 1. Watch number 27, Willie Williams, come from off the play to trip up Lamont Lauren. Art Modell at the game. That gave the Steelers another chance, and Quentin Coryatt interception, except that it looked like it was batted away. The replay, Ernie Mills knocked it out of his hands. Twice the season has been saved for Pittsburgh already, but they still have to convert. Here's O'Donnell, 15 yards and a first down off 4th and 3. They got the other 3 yards, and the Steelers keep going. O'Donnell deep, Ernie Mills, the footwork on this beyond belief. 2nd and goal now. Bam Morris will be given the ball. And after he is stopped, he says, no, I'm not stopped. Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers. Colts still aren't dead, though. 20-16 Pittsburgh. Harbaugh gets them back to midfield. And then, as the time runs down, it's anybody's ball. It's Aaron Bailey's ball, or is it? No, he dropped it. He dropped it. He almost had it, but didn't get it. As you see on the replay, never had possession of the ball and would admit thus afterwards. Harbaugh can't believe that's the way the season has turned out. The Steelers go to the Super Bowl. Harbaugh and company depressed. Bill Cowher says, get me. Man, I got the world's biggest cigarette lighter. Steelers AFC champs 20-16. To his eternal credit, Bailey said afterwards, quote, it hit the ground. I am not going to argue with it. That was just Harbaugh's 9th incomplete of the half out of 25 tries. A great game, at least in the second half. And the Steelers back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1980.
Privately, they liked thinking about it, but publicly, they dreaded talking about it. The greatest team ever? Where do you start in trying to quantify that heavy label? They did everything that was asked of them. Now they were being asked to rank their place in history. It didn't seem fair because they knew the team pride would ultimately be misconstrued as team ego. Bonnie Bernstein went looking for the Bulls' place in history.
Think NBA dynasty. The Celtics of the 60s come to mind. The Bulls of this decade, still to be determined, as is which Chicago squad of the 90s reigns supreme.
I think that the Bulls team that had Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, and John Paxson, and a younger Jordan and a younger Pippen, is certainly as good, maybe better.
Well, I think they were better defensively in the middle with Bill Cartwright being more experienced, being more physical. Horace Grant, although not as good a rebounder as Dennis Rodman, I think a better all-around defensive player, certainly a better offensive player that could give him some jump shooting capability. And as good a job as Ron Harper has done defensively for this Chicago Bull team, I thought John Paxson and B.J. Armstrong were better all-around players in the fact that they were outstanding three-point shooters and helped spread the floor.
Combine those individual talents, and what you had in the early 90s was incredible team chemistry. The same nucleus ace of players for 3 straight years. Now, the only 2 left, his Royal Airness and his second in command.
Is this Bulls team better than the one who won 3 straight championships?
From a record standpoint.
Not from a record standpoint, from a quality player standpoint.
I would say so. Not to take anything away from the players that was on that team, but I think the mindset of our team this year has been that we want to go out and win every game.
Perhaps that mindset was fueled early on by a Michael on a mission. It was Jordan, you'll recall, who came out of retirement the year before, only to get bounced from the playoffs in the second round.
I think Michael Jordan is a better player today than he was when he played before. He's such a smarter player, so much more experienced, and he's a hungrier player as well. The layoff helped Michael Jordan immeasurably.
When Michael first came in the league, he was a guy who could drive to the basket. He played above the rim. Now, he seldom drives to the basket. He picks and chooses when he wants to take the ball to the hoop.
Each year that you play this game, in some ways, you lose little bits of your physical skill. What makes up for that loss of your physical skills, the mental capacity or the mental improvement that you've had over the time that you experienced this game.
Pippen, too, is a much improved player since the early championships. In Jordan's absence, he transformed from a headstrong rebel into a level-headed leader.
You remember when Pippen had his episode where he sat out for 1.8 seconds a couple years ago? I think a lot of coaches would have said, well, I'm going to prove that I'm boss. I think Phil Jackson was secure enough to know that there was another way around that situation. I think he saved Scottie Pippen for the Bulls.
Jackson's knack for taming the unruly has also quieted a once volatile Dennis Rodman. His bullish board work filled the hole left by Horace Grant. And what Jackson's done with his bench is pure Zen mastery.
George Karl said the other day, Phil Jackson puts in these guys for 2 and 3 minutes, and he gets results. It's like you call a 200 hitter off the bench to pinch hit, and he gets a triple every time.
There is no question. The current Bulls team is by far and above the best.
I think this is a very amazing team because of the multi-personalities that has been put together and the success that's come out of that.
Skeptics claim this Bulls team has conquered a watered-down league. That expansion has made shallow the talent pool of the NBA.
The competition doesn't make any difference. It's not the Bulls' fault that the other teams don't play good basketball. They just come in. The special thing about the Bulls is how well they play regardless of the competition, particularly on the road. I think that's the sign of true greatness. I think this is the best Bulls team of the 3.
The debate could very well go on forever. In fact, old-timers like Jerry Sloan and Bob Love may even throw out their 74-75 squad as the best Bulls team.
Still ahead on the Best of SportsCenter, the images of 1996 that raised the hair on the back of your neck. Oh, sure, the College World Series decided on a homer in the bottom of the 9th? You bet.
For sale. Ideas. 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 Also known as innovations, inventions, and breakthroughs from Bell Labs. Get 'em while they're hot. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
Yeah, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. I got soul. I got soul. I like it like that. Yo a ti te quiero. I like it like that. Hey, baby. I like it like that. 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 Oh yeah.
Presenting a space-age innovation in televised college basketball. It's called ESPN Full Court. It gives you tons of great college hoops action you couldn't get otherwise. Call your cable operator or DirecTV for ESPN Full Court.
Now Now the runner-up for SportsCenter Promo of the Year.
You know, we've drafted kids right out of high school. We had this one kid. You would not believe the scouting reports. Raves up and down, can't miss.
Once again, the Indians appear to be the team to beat.
Emotionally, though, he just wasn't prepared.
Jimmy Key is attempting to come back.
Jimmy Key, what's he like, 45? I could hit him.
I mean, it's a different game in here.
Jack, you watch the game? I mean, didn't it suck? It sucked. It is with much regret that I announced that I am leaving SportsCenter.
Bottom line, he just came out too soon.
When the best of SportsCenter 1996 continues, the Major League Baseball Game of the Year, where the scoring was more like an NFL game. And we will bring you the more memorable moments from this past year.
I'll buy 10 of these. You're Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders? It's him. You're the greatest, man. Mind if I get a picture? Thanks, bro. You mind if I write a check? Sure, Deion. I'm just gonna need to see some ID. Say what? Yes, like driver's license, a library card.
Checks. What a pain.
Sugar license?
Employee ID. But now there's a better way. The Visa Check Card. It's an ATM card with a Visa logo that deducts from your checking account automatically everywhere Visa's accepted.
I'm gonna have to call to see if you can cover this.
The Visa Check Card works just like a check, only better.
Yeah, I'm a football guy, but I like the other contact sports too. Yes, nothing like the sound of a good hit. Now that's how the game was meant to be played. Only Pro Player has reversible home and away jackets, sweatshirts, and hats for pro teams and college. That guy should have been a linebacker. I've won 2 Super Bowls. I know a winner when I see one. Pro Player reversible jackets. Reverse it.
The ocean, the source of life on planet Earth. Get ready to own it. Battleship CD-ROM. It's all-out sink-or-swim naval strategy. High-res 3D graphics, 16-bit audio effects, and nerve-wracking real-time battle. You're being attacked while you're attacking. Fight above and below the water in 2,000 square miles of ocean. Even battle around the globe, on land or modem to modem. You can rule the high seas, or you might end up treading water. Battleship on CD-ROM. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the ocean.
He is with us every day. He helped to build all that we as individuals have become, all that we as a network ever will become. He was Tom Mees. We lost him on a beautiful summer's day. We lost him in a swimming pool. We lost him while he was doing what he loved best, being with his daughters. And nothing and no one here will ever be the same without him.
Buckle your seatbelts, fans. Here we go. Here comes Sam Lee. Drop pass. Oh, no. He keeps it. Take the jump. He scored! Marquez Sam Lee. He's simply the best. And when he's right, he's better than all the rest, and he is back. Mario Lemieux returns to the National Hockey League. He's got room to shoot. Check. Oh, hit the goal post. Rebound. Is it in? It's in. It is. Colorado College has won.
That a dessert?
No.
Oh. Well, that's the ice that's used to keep the pucks frozen.
I thought it was a fly in my soup there for a minute. Barnes the pass. Right over his net, and his glove hand was like a wizard. Did you ever play goal with those great eyes or what? Are you kidding? You have, with all due respect to you, John, I like you're a nice guy, but you got to have a screw loose to play goaltender in the National Hockey League. Another shot. Allison with a magical glove save. I think you're being unfair to Patrick Waugh, but this is a tough town. We know that. Here's Mark Messier. Messier takes his place with the all-time greats. Goal number 500. Corey Millen is a tough guy, tougher than this announcer. He came up to me and says, "How come you call me Little Corey Millen? Little Corey Millen. It's never Corey Millen. It's always Little Corey Millen." And I looked him right in the eye, John, and I said, "Well, you're smaller than me, and I'm little." We all live in the yellow submarine. Yellow submarine. Cardinal heads for the net. He is upended, and that was an obvious penalty, and nothing is called. In front, scores! Schermerhorn! Schermerhorn for Maine, and the Black Bears win it! This is really a special moment for me, and you don't find this in any other team sport, any other major team sport. You may see it behind the scenes, but not a public display like this, and I think it's one of the special parts of the game. Hanson, Robitaille, Seven cuts in front, they score! They score! Wayne Gretzky! Gretzky wins it for Los Angeles.
Sadly, there were others in the sports world who passed away in 1996, and while they weren't as close to us as Tom Mees was, they, like Tom, made a lasting impact on us. We say our final goodbyes.
By the end of the shift, your legs are gone. It feels like they're on fire. Your breath gets shallow and each stride hurts more than the last. Unfortunately, the fresh defenseman on the other side knows all this. What he doesn't know is you've got one rush left.
Oh, I've been meaning to tell you. You can get this Motorola flip phone and 3 months of unlimited local calls free when you make a $25 donation to your Ronald McDonald House Charities. Just take this certificate from McDonald's to a Cellular One store, and the flip phone and 3 months of unlimited local calls are free when you sign up. Great offer, huh?
Hey, isn't that Ronald McDonald?
Call Cellular One now and make the holidays brighter for kids in need.
I understand the concept. Sports news, updates, highlights whenever you want them. But why? What is this need to spoon-feed everyone everything instantly? Instant coffee, instant lotto, instant drive-through feed me now burger chains, instant cameras, instant credit, instant pudding. Actually, I like instant pudding, especially tapioca.
The baseball game of the year, June 30th, the deluge in Denver. Nomo and Mark Thompson. Top of the third, it's 1-0 Rockies. Or Mike Piazza's just hit his 22nd of the year. It's deep, but I don't think it's playable. Game is tied at 1. Your next hitter is Eric Karros. 17th of the year, that's 2-1 Dodgers. Notice the Dodgers have not hit back-to-back home runs, 3 in a row, since August 31st, 1980. Or they just did it. Mondesi, third homer in 3 pitches. 3-1 Dodgers. Bottom of the fourth, it's 6-4 LA with 1 out. Oh, but it's early yet, isn't it? Quentin McCracken, Delino, the Shields. Tried to backhand it, side saddle it, bobbles. It's the Colorado motherlode of errors. Burks against Nomo into the left field corner. Weiss scores. In fact, the error would lead to 4 runs. The Rockies would lead 8-4. But wait, there's more. 5th inning, 8-7 Rockies. Bases loaded, 2 out. A little softly swung over the head of Quentin McCracken, and all 3 runs scored. It's 10-8 Dodgers. But wait, there's more. 8th inning, the game is tied at 12. Pinch hitter John Vanderwall off Antonio Osuna. Baseball now has the subtlety of Australian rules football. Still in the 8th inning, Eric Young with a stolen base. Only his 6th of the game, but they strand him there. Top of the 9th, it's 14-13 Rockies. 2 outs, tying run at third. Dodgers haven't been able to get him in. Raul Mondesi with 2 strikes against Bruce Ruffin. Unbelievable. The Dodgers take the 15-14 lead, but wait, there's more. Dodgers 2 out, 1st and 3rd for the Rockies. Worrell to Reed, base hit. As Dan said, if you have a pitcher, toss him into the sky. Tied at 15 in the bottom of the 9th.
Swinging a bouncy ball, base hit right field. Around third is Castilla.
He will score!
Nice slide, Vinny. What the heck was that for? What the heck was the game for? Did the Rockies get 1 barrel of beer after this game or just 2 kegs, or how did this work out? Longest 9-inning game in National League history, 4 hours, 20 minutes, 10 homers in this game, and 25 in the series. The lead in the game changed hands 7 times. The pitchers might as well have changed hands 7 times.
He's still grumpy. When the best of SportsCenter rolls on, Nick Bakay hands out his awards for the past 12 months to those who are both naughty and nice.
The topical pain reliever arthritis specialists choose for themselves and their families needs no prescription. It's Zostrix. In a national survey, rheumatologists chose Zostrix 11-to-1 over the next leading brand. Rheumatologists choose Zostrix for their own.
Hi, Julie. We've been expecting you. Todd, to reception, please. You have a guest.
Julie.
Hi, Todd.
Are you excited? What do you say we go look at your car?
I'd love it. Okay. Is that my car?
This is Julie, and this is her first new car.
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you, right under your nose, making you look too old?
Whoa, it is sneaking up on me. Up here, too.
You need Just for Men gel, made for the hard-to-color gray of mustaches and sideburns. Simply brush in this no-drip gel, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Gray's gone. Your mustache and sideburns blend perfectly with your natural hair color.
That gray won't sneak up on me again.
Just for Men gel, the sure thing for a natural look.
To see what really happened in sports this year, the best, the worst, the highs and lows, check out ESPN Magazine's The Year in Sports. Remember all the great moments, Michael's Gold Rush, Kerry's Courage, and the greatest of them all. Relive the Duncan Dynasty and raise a cup to Colorado. Replay Doc's Redemption, then ring in the Year of the Tiger, and check out 10 to Watch in 97. 1996, it was a very good year, and it's all in ESPN Magazine's The Year in Sports on newsstands now.
Now, the SportsCenter promo you voted #1.
There is a stereotype out there about jocks, and for the most part, it's true. But you're going to find exceptions.
You know, I've been talking to you all afternoon about the tension, about the darkness. You know, we got to do something about that.
Michael Rowe, your boat ashore. Hallelujah, everybody, row your boat ashore.
Just when we thought we had run out of ways to put perspective into the ungainly, lumpy, epic year of sports, Jolly St. Nick shows up bearing gifts. He ceremony that changed the way Nick Bakay looked at sports.
Some might call it crazy, a dream to have my own award. Some might call it presumptuous. But you know something? They used to laugh at the run and shoot offense, too. Wait, they still laugh at it. Well, you know what I mean. Someday the NBs might be a huge network special with presenters like Lawrence Taylor and Yasmin Bleeth. But right now it's just you, me, and Mr. Camera. Oh, and our little dream. Boxing Man of the Year. The NB goes to Evander Holyfield. A man with so much heart you need Dick Gregory and some chainsaws just to get it out of the second-floor bedroom. In the category this year, your last name became a liability, the NB goes to Shula. How about them Dolphins? That NB goes to Jimmy Johnson. The first SportsCenter personality to have a profile in every magazine and a host of obscure trade publications. This is a tough one. Dan Keith. Push. Too close to call, but watch out for Haber. NFL Man of the Year, no question about it. The NB goes to Neil O'Donnell. $5 million to stay clear of all those Jet losses. That's better than a no-show mob construction job. Well done. Where were you when you heard Brent Barry won the slam dunk competition and gets the NB? The Nobody Noticed Award. Joe Montana leaves NBC, gets an NB. Wait, I need the score of the Kutztown State game, and I need it now. A dead tie. CNN, SI, and ESPN News split the NB. Woo! Year after year, the woo NB goes to motorsports. The, ooh, you calling that play? No, whatever. NB goes to Bill Walsh. Art Schleister's Christmas Dream. 143-1 long shot built for pleasure wins Fountain of Youth Stakes. Is it really a sport? This NB is a tie between golf and the Iditarod. Here to accept the NB on their behalf is Highlight. In roller derby, you get a cash bonus for that. Rodman headbutts a referee, Van Exel shoves a referee, Magic bumps a referee, but the NB goes to Roberto Alomar. The Setting Women Back 1,000 Years NB goes to Georgia Frontier for drafting Lawrence Phillips. Best imitation of Bob Marley's tour bus, the NB goes to Bam Morris. Don't feel bad, you still have the music of Rush. U.S. beats Canada in World Cup hockey, gets an NB. The Oh, This Is What Real Life Is Like for Millions of People, Can I Change My Mind award goes to Ryan Sandberg. And finally, the coveted Man with a Dream NB goes to Andrew Golota, the man who sacrificed winning for his singular obsession on the field of battle to punch the forbidden speed bag. Oh, you hate to see that. Here's to you. Here's to all the winners. You know, that wasn't too bad for the first time around. You know, people forget the first ESPYs were held in the basement of an AmVets lodge. I believe the host was a young Captain Lou Albano. Until next time, I'm Nick Bakay.
Oh, Nick.
When the Best of SportsCenter returns, we will leave you with some lasting memories of 1996.
Night, bitter rivals take it to the rack in the battle for the border. UMass UConn, Friday at 7, only on ESPN.
Another one in the books, it's a final. We thank you for joining us for the Best of SportsCenter 1996, as we thank you and all who work with us for joining us every night. And thank you, buddy.
And you too. Let's do it again next year.
All right.
Before we start looking ahead to the year 1997, we leave you with the lasting images of 1996. We hope you have a happy and safe New Year, everybody.
The New York Yankees have won the 1996 World Series. After a 2-year absence, the Chicago Bulls have regained the NBA throne. And the Cowboys win another Super Bowl title under owner Jerry Jones.
The Colorado Avalanche are the 1996 Stanley Cup champions. The new WBA heavyweight champion of the world. New world record. He set a world record. He destroys his old record. First no-hitter. That's 20 on the night for Roger Clemens. Paul Molitor is the first player in the history of baseball to get a triple out of 3,000 hits. Troy Davis has just gone over the 2,000-yard mark for the second consecutive year. Congratulations to Steve Eisenman, goal number 500. Howard Chuck number 500. The Bulls do what no team has done before.
3 straight U.S. Amateur Championships for Tiger Woods.
Ernie Irvin, he's back in victory lane.
Just don't take it for granted, because you never know. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us.
Hey, if the tractor trailer is going to put it in overdrive, he needs to tie those shorts up a little better.
Didn't take the gas man with him, but he's got that gas can.
Hey, Sergey, how you doing?
I think he ought to put that on his Christmas card this year.
The police were down there, and they're there once again, and look what happened right there. And Gila Point hops up into the crowd, and there go the Flames.
butted up. And now he just bumped the official, and he's gone.
Stackhouse going with Hornacek. Wow.
Now a little shove, and there they go. Oh, this is not your typical baseball fight, folks.
Now Warren Morris. It's a deep drive down the right field line. That ball is gone! LSU wins the College World Series.
Swung on and driven to deep left. It'll turn. No score. Oh, look out! Yankees win. Oh, Yankees win. He shoots at the horn. Good! Good! And it counts!
With Iverson on him, throws one